What's good, Plumboro?
I'm Mike Devine and Grandmas Hate Me.
And I'm the other guy. And together we are Sour Plums. We aim to entertain and educate more than 3 Plum residents by debating some of the trending topics in the borough, from school board and council happenings to business openings, conspiracy theories, and everything in between. Welcome to the Sour Plums podcast, friends. I want to get started with our opening banter as usual. I want to thank Riley Stevens for a great episode last week. She was a hit with our fans. Had a lot of new listeners as well, reaching out into the community and seeing a star athlete at the high school level. So that was really cool to have on here, Mike.
Yeah, it was great. She did a great job. Her dad told me she was out of her comfort zone, but I thought she did a fantastic job talking with us and telling us about her current endeavors and future hopes. So it was a good show.
Yeah, she was fantastic. And I want to say something just to kind of toot my own horn a little bit. It's great that I was out this weekend and to hear people in the public that I'm meeting for the first time say, Drew, I've got a grammar hammer for you. It's amazing to kind of get that feedback from people I haven't really met before or talked to. So it's pretty cool that we're having an impact that way. And also people online commenting, using that in the comments on Plum Facebook pages, like, oh, that's a perfect grammar hammer. Like, it's great that that's having an impact and people are listening to and picking up on it.
Yeah, and Millie's told me that they are out of our Would You Rather sauce already. So they're getting ready to get some more in, and gave her the recipe to make it down at the shop. So that's a hit as well. That's fun.
Speaking of hits, I met Mama Divine this weekend, and I got to tell you, I think I'm her favorite host on the show, Mike. I hate to say that, but she was delightful, honestly.
I'm used to being third favorite, so I'm sure between you and Big Cat, I'm 3.
You're number 3 here, number 3 in her sons. That's just what it is for you, right?
That's how I roll.
All right,
she's
Mike.
A grandma.
She's a grandma. She was amazing. So shout out to Mama Divine. Mike, what are you drinking tonight?
Got a beer tonight. I'm not going bourbon.
Wow.
So it's a beer from Metazoa Brewing, which is I think in Indianapolis. We got this when we were in Indianapolis. It's called Hopopotamus. Very hoppy beer. I'm not a big mild hop, like it's either ton of hop or not a lot at all. And this one has a lot of hops, so it's one of my new favorite IPAs. It's really good, very flavorful.
Well, I'm going to save us some time tonight and just say ditto because I'm drinking the exact same thing, which I actually got from you over the weekend and had no idea that you'd be drinking it tonight because you never drink IPAs on the show. So there you go, ditto. We're both drinking the same beer tonight. And it is good.
After Saturday, I thought you might have a bourbon.
Bourbon will be in my future. Yes, it was very good. I want to also shout out to our sponsors. Thank you to Tresco Concrete, Continental Comb, the Jen Mascaro Real Estate Team, and Ameli's Pizzeria. Continental Comb Barbershop, a traditional barbershop servicing the area since 1973. Up to date on all the new styles and cuts. Call 412-795-7555 and mention Sour Plums for $5 off any service.
Tresco Concrete, the best concrete products on the market. Ready-mix concrete delivered to your door, guaranteed to get hard or your money back. And as always, their concrete is all natural, no supplements, and always 100% Viagra-free.
The Jen Mascaro team proudly supports the Sour Plums podcast. When it comes to selling your home promptly and at peak value, look no further than the expertise of the Jen Mascaro team. With over a decade of industry experience, we guarantee to guide you seamlessly through the process. For personalized assistance, contact us at 412-607-6318 or email jen.mascaro@cbrealty.com. So just a reminder that if you call Ameli's Pizzeria and mention the Sour Plums podcast, you get 20% off any order. So the more you order, the more money you save. And don't forget to try our new Chicken DBLT and the Would You Rather wings.
All right, welcome back. We'll jump right into Plum Problems. Drew, this first one has come up in my house a couple times, and then I asked Big Cat about this and his wife, Carly. I didn't realize that I was part of a secret cult.
What cult is that?
The TV volume.
Explain this to me, yeah.
So apparently, I thought I was weird, but there's a lot of people out there who have this same obsession that I do. There are only acceptable numbers, in my mind, that the volume can be on your TV. Like, okay. It cannot be an odd number. Like, it cannot end in 7. It cannot end in 6. I mean, really, the acceptable numbers are 0, 5, any multiple of 5, and 3. Or an even number, except for 6 for some reason.
You got a lot of options there.
0... one's not a good odd number either. So 0, 3, 5, 8, or 10 would be 0.
Oh wow! I don't have specifics, but I definitely have specific volumes for what's happening in my house at the moment, or where the TV is, or which room I'm in, right? If the dishwasher's running, I've got to crank it up a few levels. If I'm in the living room, if I'm down in the basement and the washer's running, I got to crank up the volume to a certain level. So there's definitely that. I think the bigger issue with volume, Mike, is actually with the way professional producers screw with the levels of commercials versus what's actually on the TV. You can't watch a show without the commercial blasting you out of the water at a certain level. And you come back on, you can barely hear the actors. Like, to me, that's a bigger problem. To me, at this point, it's almost like it's a joke on all of us, because these are professionals that are getting paid to have good sound quality. And I got to tell you, our podcast has better sound quality than most of these TV shows and TV commercials. What do you think, Big Cat?
I'm racking my brain. What numbers are you guys talking about? Why are you looking at numbers while you're adjusting the volume? Just listen. And then when it's loud enough, stop. You don't have to stop at 36 because 37 is an odd number. Just stop when it sounds right.
No, you can't just go willy-nilly on your volume number. That's reckless. Okay, you can't. No. If it's once I pass 5, I'm either at 8 or the next 10, multiple of 10. 7, no. 8 is okay. 9, no. 6 is a no. So it's a 3 to 5 span there. I'm not reckless when I pick mine. That's crazy.
That's a bit much. That's a cult I don't want to be a part of.
But I want to go back to one thing you just said about the commercials, because one of my former employers, pretty big company in the city, I don't want to say their name, they're not a sponsor, and I don't work for them anymore. When you said about the volume going higher on commercials, when I was there, they actually had a series of commercials where it was, I think they called it brown noise, maybe. It was very quiet and it stood out. So people would stop what they're doing. If the TV's just on in the background, you'd stop what you're doing to see what's wrong with your TV, look, and then you'd hear people start talking about the product that they sold.
It's disruptive, right?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. It stops you, get you to pay attention, and goes in. So that's kind of crazy what you just said there.
Yeah, this is pretty weird, though. I'd love to hear feedback on our Facebook page about this even odd number volume thing that you brought up, Mike. That seems a little bit out there for me, even for me. So I've not heard that, not subscribed to that.
Well, you've been wrong before, so.
And I'll be wrong again.
You know what, guys? I have a plum problem this week.
Is this coming to us from the litter box?
You bet it is. This morning on my way to the dentist, I received a citation from an officer in Plum. He stopped me on Apers Creek, and I was not in compliance with the law. So he pulled me over, gave me a citation. I had no argument for it. I had no excuse for it. So I took my citation. He gave me some instructions to possibly help me. I wasn't speeding. My problem is rules are rules. I wasn't in anyone's way. I wasn't breaking the law in the sense of I was putting anyone in danger or myself in danger. But rules are rules, and I accept that. If you can't play by the rules, maybe you shouldn't be playing at all. If you want to participate, but you can't follow the rules, that, sir, belongs in the litter box.
All right, moving on. I was just looking at some crazy news stories to kind of see what we want to talk about this week. And staying with our high-level athletes, I found this story. I'm going to read the first sentence and then I'll kind of summarize the rest. Dairy-loving daredevils threw caution to the wind Monday for one of Britain's most extreme annual events, cheese rolling. So basically, there's this competition in Britain where thousands of people come to watch what they call reckless racers chase 7-pound wheels of double Gloucester cheese down a near vertical hill near Gloucester in southwest England. The first racer to finish behind the fast-rolling cheese gets to keep it. And if you watch the video of the link I sent you, these guys are like head over heels just rolling down the hill. It's just pure athleticism. And you get cheese to put with an antipasto plate when you're done. Like it doesn't get much better than that.
With your charcuterie, yeah. So I was reading the article. I'm thinking, like, what's this prize going to be? This is pretty phenomenal. What are they doing? They're chasing cheese down the hill. That's fine. What's the prize going to be? It's the actual cheese that they're chasing, and that seems to be a bit much for me. There were people flying from like Wisconsin to England to run in this race. It's insane to me. And you think that's athleticism, though? I guess it's going down a hill, and you have to keep your feet. I mean, you could roll, right?
They do. Did you watch the video? They do roll.
Yeah. They can roll.
Well, after this episode drops, we'll share the link to the Facebook page so people can watch it. But it's just crazy. I don't know. I don't even know how you train for this.
More athletic or less athletic than hot dog eating contest.
Oh, Joey Chestnut's the most pure athlete on the face of the planet.
That's still absurd to me. Absolutely not an athlete. Come
He
on.
puts hours upon hours in. He's an athlete.
He's something. All right.
All right, Drew, tell us what's good in the hood.
Mike, I'm excited to have on the show tonight Plum Middle School Principal Dr. Adam Szarmach. Dr. Szarmach is finishing his first year in the role in the district in which he grew up. Adam, thank you for joining Sour Plums.
Hey, thanks for having me tonight. I'm excited about it.
All right, now, Adam, by the time this episode airs, you will have finished your first year as principal at Plum Middle School. So how was that for you?
A very good learning experience for me professionally, but also very rewarding working with all the teachers and students throughout the school year.
And what was it like, being the principal in the same district from which you graduated? Any upsides or downfalls that you've experienced in that? It's got to be something, right?
There's a lot of upside to it, being in the community, being around the kids and the parents, letting them see you outside of school to let them know that, I'm a person just like they are. I think also it's beneficial for parents to see me out, if they have questions. I try to make myself as approachable as possible. So they'll come up and ask me questions, and, if there's something going on and they want to talk about it, they feel comfortable doing that. So I think that's rewarding to parents to have that. There's definitely some downsides. I have some crazy stories about issues and coming home and having to deal with some of them. There's a time where I came home after a parent wasn't too happy with me, and they were in front of my house at the time. So, and my 3-year-old was at the door. She's saying, "Hey, Daddy," and this guy's saying stuff to me. I'm thinking, "Oh, come on, man! Like, really?" But thankfully, he doesn't live on our street anymore.
Oh, wow!
When the middle school position came open for principal, there was the middle school position that was open and the high school position that was open. And I think Adam knows this already, but I was on the school board at the time. We were going through the applicants to figure out who, would be brought into the position. And the outreach from the community of the support for Adam was unbelievable. We got text messages, phone calls, emails from so many different people in the community telling stories of, his time as an assistant principal and how much he touched the kids, especially the ones who he, would follow up with to make sure that they were doing like their IEPs, they were showing up to school, that kind of thing. So it was definitely one of the fan favorites from my time on the board with the community.
Thanks. It's very, very nice to hear. My time at the high school was awesome. I really enjoyed it. There's time, like, I do miss some of the things that I was a part of at the high school. It was a great place to be. The kids were awesome, but I'm really excited at the middle school and working with those teachers and students as well.
I heard you had a really, really tough pain in the butt teacher that worked under you at the high school for a couple of years in the social studies department.
I still get to see her, and thankfully I was always her favorite student. She always looked forward to seeing me every day. So I still get to see her often around the community as well.
Now, Adam, do you feel like because you grew up in Plum, is there any added pressure, in this role for you as someone who grew up here?
I wouldn't say pressure. I think the expectation is a better word. I grew up here. I'm very proud to say that I grew up here as a kid. The friendships that I created through middle school and high school are still my best friends to this day. One's actually my brother-in-law now. So, those friendships that I created, those experiences that I had, I want the kids to experience the same thing here that I was able to. It was a great place to grow up and live, good education. The extracurriculars as far as athletics and musicals, art, like I want that for the kids too, just like I had it. So if I could make it better for them, I would. As far as pressure, I don't think it's pressure. I just think the expectation is a little bit higher, and to be able to provide that to the students now too.
And now, speaking of the students, my son was an 8th grader this year, and he talked about you quite a bit. But having worked with that class for a full year, that 8th grade class, what do you expect from them in high school? It was a really great group of kids.
Yeah, I think that group of kids really made my transition easier because of how good of kids that they were. They're a phenomenal group. They get along with each other. They look out for each other. Again, they're middle school kids. They joke around with each other just like we did, and their kids will one day. But they're an awesome group. They could joke around with you, but when it's time to draw the line, they know where the line is. And they do. They're a tight knit little group. They look out for each other. But I think that group of kids made my transition to the middle school a lot easier than typically would happen else, just because of how well behaved and how respectful, and honestly, and how well they do academically, made it a lot better for me.
Yeah, I think they're like something like 60 4.0 students out of that class.
We just had the ice cream social also for the kids 3-5 and above, and there's a nice group in there. And the thing is, within that group of how big it was, you see all the kids interacting with each other. It's not just one group of kids here, one group of kids there. They all interact and are so friendly to each other, which is really nice to see too.
Yeah, and speaking, I can't speak for every kid, but for a small group of friends of my sons and my son too, you made the year a great one for them as well, just as they made it for you.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. That his group, him and his group of friends, they're a great group. We could joke around. There was a couple of activities going on throughout the school year that they brought to my attention, and let me know that they're gonna do their best effort during the game, and it was fun. It was fun going back and forth, but when it was time, it was time to get serious, and they were great about it.
I want to get serious for a moment. What was it like to be part of the team of staff members that lost to the 8th grade boys basketball team in front of the entire student body?
Well, before we get started on that, let's talk about the trash talking that was going on previous to that. I don't think I haven't played a competitive game of basketball since I was 18 years old, and I love basketball. But the group of guys I played with were still all friends, and we were very successful at Plum. So I was a little bit ahead of myself. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty confident that I could still take an 8th grader, but I found out real quick I'm real old, washed up. Can't handle the ball like I used to. But the game was awesome. The kids had a lot of fun. I was probably more worried about anybody during it. I wanted it to be a memorable experience for the kids who were playing, but also the students who were in the stands watching and enjoying it. And the kids watching were phenomenal. They were very well behaved. I'm sure they got some good footage of a bunch of old guys getting worked by the 8th graders, but it was a really fun game. They let me they didn't let me live it down still to this day. I think they beat us by 20 something at least.
Yeah, it was. Xavier had me come home and he wanted to watch the game again because playing is one thing. He wanted to watch him beat you again. Oh, you did. You did make a three.
And thank gosh it was early that I shot it because I was so tired by the second quarter that I just stopped shooting because I was so tired. I don't want to airball a second time. I did shoot an airball. Now it was nice too because we did invite the parents in to watch this year. And in the past I don't think that happened, but we want to increase the parent involvement too at the middle school. They're at a weird age. They don't want their parents around, but they don't appreciate and respect everything that their parents have done for them and are doing. And to be able to have them come in there and just watch the game and see how it was, I hope the parents enjoyed it too. But I don't know if I should have done that now. Thinking back, I'm sure there was replays going on in your house for a while over that. I got crossed up pretty good the one time too, so I'm sure there's another house. I got that video sent to me getting crossed up, and but yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I was very, very impressed with how well that the kids played together, how they shared the ball, and they could shoot the ball lights out. So I'm really excited to see that group go through high school and see what they could do because they could shoot it, and they have some length too. They're a really good group, and they all seem like they get along and they're buddies with each other, and that translated onto the court. So I'm excited to see that group go through too.
Absolutely.
The tough thing for you is next year when you play, you're a year older and 8th grade still the same age, so it's going to get harder and harder.
I was just praying that I was not going to pull a muscle or sprain an ankle. That was my number one thing, is don't get hurt. I'm thinking if I get hurt and I come home and tell my wife and daughters I can't do anything for a few days because I pulled a muscle, I'm in trouble.
Dr. Adam Szarmach, everyone, Plum Middle School principal. Thanks so much, Adam.
Dr. Adam sounds badass.
Dr. Adam.
Dr. Adam.
I've been called a lot worse than that.
Adam, are you going to participate in the Would You Rather in the blind ranking?
Yeah, he should. He should. Stay on camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next 2 segments, go ahead and participate. All right, before we move on to Would You Rather, I'd like to introduce another special guest tonight, Jimmy Garris. He was the winner of our contest, Guess the Menu Item, for the Chicken BLT, and because of that, he's here with us tonight to have some fun. Hi, Jimmy.
Hello, guys. How are you? Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you.
Are you having issues with people parking in your dining room there? I see the no parking sign.
They're like on my steps right now. I mean, they haven't gotten to my dining room just yet. But next week's a different week, so I was going to kind of rock, the wet hair with a towel getting out of the shower because it took me like a half hour because our pressure stinks here. So
I've heard. I've seen the post.
It's awful. Simple things,
There's too much weight from the cars parked on your street messing with your water temperature or water pressure.
Yeah.
I'm confident.
Let's have some fun tonight, and we'll get started with Would You Rather. What do you got for us tonight, Mike?
All right. Would you rather spend the day wearing wet socks or have a popcorn kernel stuck in your teeth?
Having a popcorn kernel stuck in your teeth is super annoying. It sometimes it can be a little painful too. But I realize I could handle that for a lot longer than I could walk in wet socks. I mean, I wouldn't last very long in wet socks. It's gross, especially I don't even know what the restrictions are, but walking through my house, making my floor is wet. Like it's a gross feeling. I could last a lot longer with a popcorn kernel stuck in my teeth than I could with wet socks that eventually turn smelly and never get dry. But that's my take on it. What do you guys say?
So this one was actually really hard for me. A popcorn kernel or anything stuck in my teeth bugs the hell out of me. But I have this weird thing with my feet. Like I cannot stand. So the second I get up in the morning, I put shoes on, either shoes or slippers. I cannot go barefoot. My kids drive me nuts. Like we show up places, they don't have shoes on. Like they forgot to put them on. They just run out of the house without shoes on. But wet socks, like I can feel my feet pruning up now as we talk about it. Like that would just drive me insane. 100% I'd have a popcorn kernel stuck in my teeth all day.
I got to go with the wet socks on this. I'm going to go with the wet socks. Here's my reasoning behind it. If my socks are wet, it's usually I got a hole in my waders. I'd be fishing, and that's cool. Or, maybe I walk too close to the water at the beach. So that's cool. So like fishing and being at the beach, I'm associating with wet socks. Now, of course, you got the mysterious puddle on your kitchen floor, but like the wet socks can be taken off. And no joke, I'm going to go on a tangent on it. So I once had a popcorn kernel or a hull that required dental attention. I had a gum swelling issue. And I couldn't even eat. It required antibiotic. And apparently, like she's like, it'll eventually come out like a splinter. Socks can be taken off.
100% wet socks. I hate wet socks. No, yeah, Jimmy. I promise you, I would just got a piece of floss and got that thing out of my teeth.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I hate wet socks. I hate being cold. I hate being wet. I'm like Mike. As soon as I wake up, I have slippers on right now. Always have something on my feet, but it has to be dry.
I wouldn't say that too much, Adam. I wouldn't say I'm like Mike too often. That'll get you in trouble.
I didn't know there was a cult thing too with the volume. But I'm 100% in. It always has to be on an even number all the time. I thought that was me. I never heard of anybody else doing that.
That seems like OCD more than a cult.
In high school, this kid that rode me back and forth to basketball, and he does it to this day because of that. But he would turn something on, and I'd always have it on an even number. And every time I see him, he always jokes with me about it now. He always has his on an even number just because I used to do it whenever we were younger.
Wow.
I keep mine on 13. I'm the other side of things. Not an even guy. I'm an odd guy.
But 3 is an okay number. It's an okay odd number.
I guess. Even like when I wake up in the morning, my alarm clock's set for 5:03.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. 5 o'clock's too even. Like I needed like some type of mysterious.
It's a quirky bunch. Jeez.
So anybody else do this though? Like if I'm doing something and I'm like, all right, it's 5:26 at 5:30, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do what I need to do. But if it hits 5:31, I'm like, oh, screw it, I missed it. I'm going to 5:45 now.
Well, we're rescheduling
the overshoot.
Yeah.
Alan, where do you stand on wet socks?
It's a tough one. I mean, I've had stuff stuck in my teeth recently until I went to the dentist today. You know who you are. Shout out to my dentist. I would go with Wet Socks. I think that'd be easier to ignore than the popcorn kernel.
Couldn't do it. If I got a popcorn kernel stuck in my teeth at the same time as I put on Wet Socks, I can guarantee you those Wet Socks are going to bother me sooner. Absolutely.
100%.
All right.
Drew, is it time to play this or that?
It is, Mike. We're gonna skip out on Grammar Hammer this week, but we're gonna go with bringing back this or that. And I got 4 for you, and this is the music edition, which I'm sure to offend loads of people.
I just want to tell you, when I saw this, I have been dreading this day because I knew at some point it would come out, and I'm gonna say it now because I'm gonna get beat up on this one.
Okay.
I hate music.
That's a blanket statement.
It is. I don't. So I like songs, right? Like but I don't understand people who say, "Did you hear this new album? Like, it's great. I'm just going to sit there and listen to it for 3 hours." I can't do it. Like in the car, talk radio, podcast. I'm not a music guy. So my answer is going to be awful. You're probably going to get the music taste of a 11-year-old girl because when I do listen to music, it's whatever my kids are listening to. So let the lashings begin.
So these are quick hitters. These are a little less would you rather, a little more like give me your reason and a real quick why, a sentence or two. So this or that. We're going to start with Nirvana or Pearl Jam.
I don't know the difference. I couldn't tell you one song by either one. I just picked Nirvana. The one song, I picked Nirvana.
Pearl Jam. And I don't know why. I'm sure I know a lot of songs from both of them. Couldn't tell you one of them right now.
I'd have to say Pearl Jam all day long.
All day long?
I'm a guitar guy.
I have to admit, when I first heard Nirvana, mind blown. But Pearl Jam is definitely my favorite.
Pearl Jam for me, easily. Jeremy was one of the most influential music videos I'd ever seen when I was a kid. That and Put 'Em on the Glass by Sir Mix-a-Lot. So wide range of influential videos for me. I got big. That was sort of what our yeah.
Were you watching BET After Dark as well?
I would go over to I was like 9 years old. I would go over to my friends because he had satellite, and I didn't have it living in the country. But he was like the one kid in town that had satellite. I spent my entire summer weeks there. I didn't even go home. I would wear his clothes. I wanted to watch BET After Dark and all the music videos and a little bit of HBO After Dark. But we won't get into that.
All right, we should come back to that
someday. We will. That'll be a this or that.
We have a lot more in common than I thought.
We don't.
All right, next this or that. Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo. Adam.
Taylor Swift, that's all my kids listen to. As soon as we get in the car, you put on Taylor Swift.
Jimmy.
Olivia Rodrigo. I don't know who she is, but it's not Taylor Swift, so I'm going to go with that one.
I love that. Mike.
I don't know who Olivia Rodrigo is as well. I'm going Taylor Swift because I know every word to every song because that's all my kids listen to.
Yeah. Big cat.
I actually impressed the 3rd grade girls basketball team by singing every song between the high school and the middle school when we had practice one night. So
wow.
But you don't like music. You're a Swiftie. Yeah.
I like songs, but I don't like music.
Taylor Swift songs. I know who Olivia Rodrigo is.
Point for you.
I think she really takes a lot of influence from like nostalgic songs and how they sound, and that's why she's so popular. I mean, her lyrics are solid also. But Taylor has been able to redesign herself. Not redesign. Redefine. Why are you laughing? You threw me off.
Because he says, I agree. He has no idea what he's talking about. You're like, you're coming all philosophical, and he doesn't know who Olivia Rodrigo even is.
Taylor has been able to redefine herself over the years, so I think she gets the point on this one.
We explained the segment as quick hitters, and Alan just wrote us first chapter of his book on music philosophy. All right. I'm Olivia Rodrigo. She has a dark edge to her, which I appreciate. My girls enjoy her and Taylor Swift, but when they're with me, they're playing Olivia Rodrigo most of the time. So I'm unpopular. I find Taylor Swift's lyrics to be very boring and dull and repetitive. So I know I'm going to get hammered for saying that, but I wanted to make sure that I got hammered. I'm going to get bullied online is what's going to happen.
Lily's going to call you and tear you apart.
I believe it.
You used to be more worried about Penny.
All right, next one. This or that. Notorious B.I.G. or Tupac? Jimmy.
I got to go with Pac. it's like one of those things, whether it was Pitt or Penn State when I grew up. Either you were a Biggie guy or a Pac guy.
Yeah.
I don't know too many people that would go over both, but I would prefer Pac over Biggie.
West Coast over East Coast. All right,
I
Adam.
like Tupac growing up, but I would go with Biggie just because he's an East Coast guy.
I'm gonna go with Biggie because was it him that was sang a song with Bone Thugs?
Yeah,
Didn't
he
he?
did.
No.
Yeah.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
I was a big
Yeah.
Bone Thugs guy, but that's not part of it. Yeah, but you're.
And
yeah.
and my cousin came to pick me up one year in high school, and drove me down to Virginia, and we listened to that song about 90 times. So
Bone and Biggie, baby.
Yeah, that's the one. And
yeah.
he had a Ford Probe GT with a huge subwoofer in the back. I was about this big in high school, and I was sitting literally on the subwoofer trying to sleep, and I listened to this song for like 6 hours straight.
That's what I drove in high school too. A silver Ford Probe. And I was listening to Biggie Smalls and my theme song, Big Papa. Go ahead, Big Cat.
I'll keep it short. Tupac.
That's super short. That's too short even. All right. Last one. Backstreet Boys or Boyz II Men? Jimmy.
That's a tough I got to go Boyz II Men. Absolutely. I think there's just more soul there. That's why I picked them. That's about as deep as it gets.
Absolutely.
I go Boyz II Men too on that one. I feel like they were like the original boy group back then.
Boyz II Men to me is the original boy band. That's why I'm comparing people. Why am I comparing the Backstreet Boys? Because to me, they were the original boy band.
This one was tough. I do like songs from both of these groups, but I'm going to go with Backstreet Boys because in college, 4 of my friends convinced me to dress up as the Backstreet Boys for Halloween, and we ended up performing one of their songs for like 300 people at fraternity one time. And no, I will not redo it, but
Sour Plums After Dark.
That's my OnlyFans page.
Big Cat.
I'm going with Boyz II Men. I could probably still listen to them today and enjoy the music. It felt like it was. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm rambling on, Drew. I'll keep it short.
I'm going to ramble on this one. So give me the time, Big Cat. And it's by far, easily, Boyz II Men. I saw people throwing out NSYNC on our Facebook page, but no, Boyz II Men. Think about this trifecta for the cycle of a relationship. It's all brand new. I'll make love to you. Then you screw up, and it's on bended knee. And then it's too far. You screwed up too much. It's over. End of the road. That's the trifecta of any relationship cycle. And I think that they nailed it. Boyz II Men could turn a vegetarian into a meat eater by singing the Chili's Baby Back Rib song. That's how good they are. The best boy band of all time.
Oh, that was the worst metaphor ever.
We're going to cut it out. Alan, cut it out.
That was not good.
Please leave that in.
You should have been nicer to me a little bit ago.
All right. Well, that was this or that. We had a lot of fun there. A lot of you had some wrong answers. That's okay. Mike, what do you got for blind rankings this week? This is, again, blind rankings. You guys are going to have fun with this. This is where Mike has a category, gives us 5 individual things within that category. We got to rank them 1 through 5, 1 being the best, 5 being the worst, and we don't know what's coming next. So go ahead, Mike.
All right. This week, I've had this one in the chamber for a while, and I'm pretty excited about this one. Cookies.
Cookies.
Yeah, cookies.
You a fan of cookies?
Oh, I love cookies. I don't know if you can tell. So Lily actually just got us onto this kick where she must follow on TikTok Crumble. Every time they drop their new cookies, she sends text before we get home. Can you get the new ones? So then we bring home 6 Crumble cookies. We cut them into eight triangles, and I eat a lot of them.
I believe that. Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's do it.
Okay, first one. We're going to start with a classic. The original Chips Ahoy. Not the soft ones, the original hard Chips Ahoy.
As a cookie by itself, it's not good. But I like to dip it in coffee, and it's a lot better that way. So for me, I'm going to add that to it. It's not a very good cookie. It's hard, very processed, not a great flavor. I'll put it 3, though, because I have coffee with it.
Did you say put in coffee? I didn't realize you were 87. I'm sorry. But
I've been doing that since I was 8 or 7.
All right, just so we're clear here, like you got to put a number on this cat without even knowing the other options.
That's why it's hard.
Oh wow!
Clearly, Jimmy listens to every episode.
Oh man, wow.
Number 1 fan, never listened to the show.
I mean, I skip around, man. There's the slide button on YouTube. I try to find the parts, but
He skips Mike's segments. It goes to mine.
all the time.
Probably why I stopped listening.
I'm gonna go 2 original Chips Ahoy because it's a heck of a lot better than the soft ones. I know that much.
I'm going 4. Just the cookie by itself is terrible, but you gotta add milk. I gotta add cookie and coffee. But
Well, give it 47 years. When you're 87, you'll add coffee to it.
I'm gonna go with 4 as well. Wouldn't be my first pick for cookie, and I'm sure Mike has a doozy up his sleeve that I'll save 5 for.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, second one is fudge stripe cookies.
So you're talking about all store-bought cookies, or is this open? Can I get some clarification?
Like I'm not going to do like a Pittsburgh wedding cookie. Like it's not going to be like one of those kind. They're all cookie brands.
Okay.
We'll do wedding cookies one day.
In that case, I'm going to put that at 4. I hesitate. I like it. I probably like it better than the Chips Ahoy, but there's got to be better ones than that you come up with, I hope.
Jimmy.
I'm gonna have to roll with the fudge stripe as number 1. It's like my all-time favorite.
Wow.
Like
That's bold.
I will never say no to that cookie when it's offered. Just saying.
I'm going 5. That's the worst cookie ever. my daughters love those cookies, and they could sit there. I really won't even pick at them. They're the worst.
So I just want to say, Jimmy and Adam have the exact opposites right now. Like 5 and 4, 1 and 2. They could not be further apart on the cookie spectrum.
We could not have a cookie party together. That's for sure.
I'm going with 2 for this one, and I'll go with like store brand or generic brand fudge stripe. I don't need Keebler. And Adam, if you haven't tried this, put it on your finger and then eat it off your finger. That's what you're missing. I know you're not doing that. That's what takes it to
that I've been missing.
That's what takes it to 2. I trust me.
I'm going to suggest to my daughters to try that too. I think they'll like them even more.
Destroyed for dipping my chocolate chip cookies in coffee, but the big cat just gets a free pass on putting a cookie around his finger.
There's a hole in the middle.
Pinky.
There's a hole in the middle. It's cookies and milk, Drew, not cookies and coffee.
Well, not in this house. All right.
Next one here, Nutter Butter.
5. I don't like a Nutter Butter, and now I'm in trouble because I only have 1 and 2 left. So I don't care for it. I like peanut butter by itself with peanut butter and jelly. That's it. I don't like peanut butter and anything else. Cookies, desserts, whatever.
Maybe in the air fryer they're even better.
Well, I know your PB&Js are. I gave you credit for that once, Mike. Let's not push it.
Oh, I'm bringing it up as often as I can. Jimmy.
Hard 5. They're the worst. If I was given a choice between Nutter Butters and the bag they came in, I'd eat that.
So if we see a trend here, Adam's going to go 1.
That's what I'm
thinking. 1 and 2. I'm going 2. But yeah, any peanut butter and sauce, and I love it. I'm going 2. I think you have something better than that. These 3, so I'll go 2 just to save the 1.
Strategy.
I'm gonna go with 3. It would be a middle of the road cookie for me. If it was there, I would take it over Chips Ahoy.
Would you dip it in coffee though? No, it would
Never.
not. So
Never. I might turn it on its side and pretend it's a tree and like bite it like a beaver.
What? You eat? I would never want to eat cookies around you. That is for sure. That's for sure.
I said I might.
I'm convinced you will.
He's putting his pinky in the hole and eating like a beaver. I don't understand what's going on here.
Off the rails, big cat. Just eat a damn cookie.
Next one here, classic Oreo.
All right. I got to decide what you're going to come up with next. Because 5 is always the worst or the best, it seems you save. I got to go Oreo at 1 just because I'm not sure what's going to happen. I like an Oreo. I don't love an Oreo, but I don't love cookies. So I'll have to put Oreo at 1 for the purpose of this game.
Jimmy.
I'm going to have to ask a question. I thought Oreo was a sandwich.
It's a cookie sandwich.
Isn't it a sandwich? I mean, I don't know.
It could appear in that category as well, but
So wait, can I have Oreos for lunch? Because I'm all in.
Last week they just said tacos were considered a sandwich.
Who said that?
It was on the news somewhere. I saw
big taco.
They were. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm going to go with the 3 on the Oreo.
All right, there you go, Jimmy. I'll go 3 too. So I'm saving that 1. But yeah, I go 3. You have to have milk with an Oreo, so you can't just eat an Oreo plain.
We're going to find out how Alan does it real quick.
Fork into the cream and then dip into the milk.
Yes.
But you said original, so I'm going to put original Oreo, like single stuff, at 5.
You can do Oreo or double stuff.
No. You said original Oreo.
I said a classic. I said classic.
He said classic.
Okay.
He did.
Okay. I put Oreo at 5.
Oh, you're wrong.
And in 1912, it was considered a biscuit. So I don't know how it went from biscuit to sandwich to cookie
To cookie?
to cookie.
All right. Well, this next one, I can tell you I already disagree with Alan and Adam, and they haven't even gone yet, but they both have number 1 left. And this one is Thin Mints.
Oh, Thin Mints. I would have put that at 1. Damn, 2. I'm happy with 2. Thin Mints at 2. It's perfect. I would have switched Oreo and Thin Mints. That's what I would have done. The only thing I would have changed. Love a Thin Mint. Mike, don't you just love brushing your teeth with Thin Mints?
Listen, my turn's coming up here in a minute, and I have a lot to say. Okay,
I bet you do.
Jimmy, you're up.
Well, by default, it's a 4. It's a step above the Nutter Butter, but definitely a step below the Oreo. So I'm happy with that one coming out at 5, or the last one rather, the last choice.
I would have put that at 1 if that was the first option. That's the only cookie that you name that you could eat by itself. Well, Nutter Butter too, but yeah, definitely Thin Mints at 1. Eat a whole sleeve without even
whole sleeve. Absolutely. Yep. That's it.
Jimmy, whenever you have time, dude, we're going to Oakmont Bakery and splitting a cookie tray because all the ones that I don't like, I think you're going to eat.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Wherever we're going to Oakmont Bakery, split a cookie tray.
Nice. Maybe I need to expand my palate. I don't know, but
maybe you can listen to episodes 1 through 6 when you're eating that cookie, so Jimmy can get caught up.
Bring your floss in case anything gets stuck in your teeth. I don't want you whining about it.
Alan, you happy with number 1?
I'm very happy. I instantly celebrated. I'm so honest and true to myself with these blind rankings that I would put these in the order if you gave them to me any order. This is how I would do it. Thin Mints number 1, and they're frozen from the freezer, eating them frozen.
I would do that.
Plum's gonna have my back on that one. Frozen. I
believe that, but man, you got you got to take care of your cookies. Sometimes you just got to eat a cookie, right? You have to have it prepared a certain way.
If that's how I decide to go through life, is just making the best of every situation.
I feel a divine rant coming on here, so
buckle up.
He hates his mint.
All right, so my ranking for those not normally on the show, I obviously know what's going, like what cookies are out there, what's out there, so I can pre-rank mine. Oreo, far and away number 1. Alan, you said it best. Get the little fork, put it in the middle of the cream. You dip it in, go about your business, come back, eat it, put another one, go about your business. I did this diet one time called the Carb Night diet, where all you do is for 7 days you eat just protein, no carbs. 7 grams of carbs or less per day. And then on the 7th night, it's your carb night. And you are encouraged to eat. And a bodybuilder actually figured this out. When you starve yourself of carbs and you reintroduce them, your body burns the fat so much. And it was real until I stopped doing it. But
how many cults are you in? That's a food cult.
No, but listen, I ate a whole bag of Oreos in one sitting, and it was the best and worst day of my life.
If you were a superhero, your name would be Fat Man, and you'd be the Carb Knight.
Carb Knight.
I feel attacked, but it's so true. Number 2, Chips Ahoy. Whoever said with milk, you were absolutely right there. It's one of my favorite cookies, but you have to have milk with it. Fudge Stripe, also good with milk. Nutter Butters, I put a 4. I have to really be in the mood for a Nutter Butter, but they are good. I can only eat 1 or 2 of them at a time, which is probably better for me. And then I put Thin Mints at 15 because every other Girl Scout cookie goes there, and then like dog shit goes there, and then everything else, and then Thin Mints. I can't believe anybody put it at 1 and was happy about it.
You eat dog shit for breakfast?
I would if it was that Thin Mints. I'd eat the white dog shit before I ate a Thin Mint.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Can I just ask for clarification from Adam and Jimmy? This fork in an Oreo, is that a thing?
It's the first I've ever heard about it.
Me too.
Never heard of that before.
I wasn't wrong with the
I've seen the
Uncrustables.
active
I'm not
form.
wrong with this.
I don't see how that's. I don't even know how that could be possible. How doesn't the Oreo come apart?
gotta be
There's
gentle.
a fine line.
You got to be gentle.
The fork goes into the cream filling.
Could you demonstrate that again, Jimmy? Oh, is that okay?
Fork. Because Oreos
Yeah.
a sandwich, so it's in
We
between.
just lost our G rating.
G for grandmas love us.
Not all of us.
All right, well, that was a fun blind ranking, guys. That was a lot of fun. Thank you to Tresco Concrete, Continental Comb, the Jen Masco Real Estate Team, and Ameli's Pizzeria. Continental Comb Barbershop, a traditional barbershop servicing the area since 1973. Up to date on all the new styles and cuts. Call 412-795-7555 and mention Sour Plums for $5 off any service.
Tresco Concrete, the best concrete products on the market. Ready-mix concrete delivered to your door, guaranteed to get hard or your money back. And as always, their concrete is all natural, no supplements, and always 100% Viagra-free.
The Jen Mascaro team proudly supports the Sour Plums podcast. When it comes to selling your home promptly and at peak value, look no further than the expertise of the Jen Mascaro team. With over a decade of industry experience, we guarantee to guide you seamlessly through the process. For personalized assistance, contact us at 412-607-6318 or email jen.mascaro@cbrealty.com. So just a reminder that if you call Ameli's Pizzeria and mention the Sour Plums podcast, you get 20% off any order. So the more you order, the more money you save. And don't forget to try our new Chicken DBLT and the Would You Rather wings. Mike, do you have a voicemail tonight? Any voicemails?
We do. We have one tonight.
One more. Can I guess who this might be from?
You can guess. You might be wrong.
Does Jimmy McBride keep his streak alive?
Okay, you're right.
All right.
People Plum, it's me, Jim McBride, here to continue on my streak. The Mighty Ducks talk was tough for me to listen to last week, but I've moved on, and I leave you with this question. Who would you rather have on your team playing, Adam Banks or Charlie Conway? Keep in mind, Charlie gave up his jersey in a championship game for Adam Banks and sat there and did nothing. Helped run up a play that, Gordon could have done, but, we're here. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. And I'll just answer that question really quickly. If I'm trying to win a game, Adam Banks over Charlie Conway all day, every day. What do you guys say?
I'm still not an Adam Banks fan. He's still number 5 for me. Charlie Conway all day. Leadership goes a lot further than pompous assery that Adam Banks has.
I don't know. I saw a lot of pompous assery this weekend in New York, and we lost by 20 every game. So it worked out pretty well for them.
But I got a bone to pick with Jimmy because I got a lot of shit, and we have it on audio. He said that I bought into the fact that Fulton shot the knuckle puck. I believe I was the one from the beginning who corrected everybody.
You did.
And said it wasn't.
You did.
Yeah. Jimmy can kiss my butt.
I got confused with the knuckle puck and like the edge slap shot into the trunk in that one scene.
I'm not blaming you for being wrong. I'm just yelling at Jimmy for calling me out that I didn't know that.
He must not listen to the whole show either.
Probably not. Must be the name.
All right, let's move on. We got any shout outs tonight, Mike? I actually have one Plum shout out. It's fitting that Dr. Szarmach's on the show tonight. My shout out is to the 8th grade class at Plum. A really great group of kids, just academically, athletically, just as people in general. You don't have to have a 4.0 to be a good kid, be a good student, and have a good future ahead of you. It's a great group. I was proud to sit there and watch all of them get their awards last week, and really shout out to some of the teachers, a lot of the teachers that take care of these students. There was a particular teacher, I won't mention names, that when Xavier got her last year in class, it was the first teacher. He was like, "Dad, I don't think I can handle her. She's tough." I'm like, "That's the best teacher. She demands a lot of you. You're going to grow with her." And he had her for 2 years in a row. And honestly, she's probably his favorite teacher after those 2 years because she pushed him. But when she realized that the kids were listening to her and working hard, she became a really fun student. She made the classroom fun and, forced them to grow. So shout out to the students, the staff, and the teachers at the Plum Middle School.
I just have one shout out as well, kind of along the same lines. All the graduating seniors this year. Good luck to everything, everything you're about to do, whether it's the armed forces, whether it's going out into the workforce, going to college, whatever it is, do great things. It's the first graduation that I'm not part of from the school side of things in the last 4 years, but I will be there. My nephew, oldest nephew, is graduating. Crazy to think when I met him, he was 5 years old, and now he's graduating tomorrow night. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. So, and I want to say thank you to Jimmy and Adam for joining us and sticking around and playing and having some fun tonight. Thank you guys.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Yep. Yeah, it was a blast. I had a good time.
All right. Thank you for listening to Sour Plums. Like this episode, subscribe to our channel on SoundCloud, Spotify, or YouTube, and share if you care. I'm the other guy.
I'm Mike Devine, and Grandma still hate me.
And we're out.